What's happening there, Reject Nation? Just Greg today here because everyone I know has seen this movie. John has seen it multiple times, and I've gotten a lot of flack for never having seen it, and that is the movie Forrest Gump starring Thomas the Hanks. Yep, the time has come for this long epic film. I hope I like it after what everyone's always raved about. But guys, as usual, thank you to the super sexy rejects who have shown your support to us over the years. Full-length watch-alongs for Forrest Gump will be over at our Patreon page, along with a bunch of other things we cover as well. Many of those shows have reaction highlights included as well. But if you can't do that, please leave a like. That would be very much appreciated. Also subscribe and click that notification bell to get notified for when our next movie reaction is up. Got a lot of things in the pipeline, actually, so excited for what we have in store for 2022. And them boys at Prepper, thank you for helping me edit down these highlights. Couldn't do it without you. Let's get into it. Alan Silvestri? Marvel's own composer, Alan Silvestri? This feather flying through multiple stories of lives, and I don't know, I'm trying to pick up thematically what it means. Oh, you know, it's funny. I had a plaid shirt that looks like that. I almost wore that one. See?
My name's Forrest Gump. Do you want a chocolate?
Never take candy from a stranger.
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. Those must be comfortable shoes.
My feet hurt.
Mom always said there's an awful lot you can tell about a person by their shoes.
Very true. That's why I wear Ferragamo.
Mama said they'd take me anywhere.
You can open your eyes now. Let's take a little walk around.
Oh.
Now, when I was a baby, Mama named me after the great Civil War hero, General Nathan Bedford Forrest. He started up this club called the Ku Klux Klan.
Oh my God.
And act like a bunch of ghosts or spooks or something.
What?
And anyway, that's how I got my name.
Oh God.
He's gonna have to go to special school.
He's not going to some special school to learn how to retread ties. We're talking about 5 little points here.
Is that Mr. Gump?
Ugh.
Mrs. Gump?
Ugh. Ugh, God.
Oh, your mama sure does care about your schooling, son. You don't say much, do you?
One time, a young man was staying with us, and he had him a guitar case.
Oh, here we go.
Forrest?
I was just showing him a thing or two on the guitar here.
That's supposed to be actual Elvis?
It sounded good.
Oh my God, he invented Elvis's dance moves.
This one night, me and Mama was out shopping, and we walked right by Benson's Furniture and Appliance store. And guess what?
And here I was thinking that all Elvis did was appropriate black culture, taking advantage of little kids.
Are you coming along?
Mama said not to be taking rides from strangers.
This is the bus to the school.
I'm Forrest Gump.
I'm Dorothy Harris.
Well, now we ain't strangers anymore.
What a good-hearted kid.
I do remember the first time I heard the sweetest voice in the wide world.
You can sit here if you want.
I had never seen anything so beautiful in my life.
Look how dumb bad he is.
I just sat next to her on that bus and had a conversation all the way to school.
My back's crooked like a question mark. These are gonna make me
And next to Mama,
narrow.
no one ever talked to me or asked me questions.
Are you stupid or something? Stupid as a stupid does.
I've heard that.
She helped me learn how to read, and I showed her how to swing.
She's not doing any of the things you're doing, man.
Just run away, Forrest. Run, Forrest! Run away! Hurry!
Let's get it! Come on! Look out, Johnny! Here we come! Let's get you!
Run, Forrest, run!
It's funny when you hear some of the things you've like heard in passing before. Oh shit. Oh damn. Forrest unleashed. The Forest awakens. That's some touching ass shit, dude.
From that day on, if I was going somewhere, I was running.
That's so cool.
She lived in a house that was old as Alabama. Her mama had gone up to heaven when she was 5, and her daddy was some kind of a farmer. He was a very loving man. He was always kissing and touching her and her sisters.
Oh my god. Are they implying what I think they're implying?
Did you hear me, stupid? Run, Forrest! Get in the truck! Get in the truck! Let's move it! Come on, let's get in the way! Move it!
Run, Forrest, run!
Who in the hell is that? And there's Forrest Gump, Coach.
And can you believe it? I got to go to college too.
No way. God, this really makes you want to exercise. Way to go, Forrest. Stop running, man.
President Kennedy ordered the Secretary of Defense then to use military force. Hereby videotape is the encounter by General Graham, Commander of the National Guard, and Governor Wallace.
This movie's more mature than I expected it to be.
Ma'am, you dropped your book. Ma'am.
Say, wasn't that Gump?
No, that couldn't be. Sure as hell was.
Wallace got shot. I was in college. It was co-ed.
Because Jenny went to a college I couldn't go to. But I'd go and visit her every chance I got.
Oh, you gotta be shitting me, Jenny.
Forrest! Forrest! He doesn't know any better!
Oh.
Brought you some chocolate. I'm sorry. I'll go back to my college now.
Forrest!
Oh. Poor guy.
Have you ever been with a girl, Forrest?
I sit next to them in my home economics class all the time.
Damn, Jenny, you've been so forward with him since you were like little kids, man.
They put you in this little room with just about anything you want to eat or drink. And since number 1, I wasn't hungry but thirsty, and number 2, they was free, I must have drank me about 15 Dr. Peppers.
My God.
Congratulations. How does it feel to be an All-American?
Very good, sir.
Congratulations. How do you feel?
I gotta pee.
I believe he said he had to go pee.
That's pretty good technology, man.
After only 5 years of playing football, I got a college degree.
Congratulations, son.
Mama was so proud.
Forrest, I'm so proud of you.
Dude, she's aged like 40 years.
Hello, I'm Forrest Gump.
Nobody gives a husky shit who you are, pussball! Get your faggoty ass on the bus, you're in the army now!
Seat's taken.
Take.
Everyone's so goddamn mean, this guy.
My name's Forrest Gump. People call me Forrest Gump. So Bubba was from Bayou La Battery, Alabama, and his mama cooked shrimp.
Bubba.
I'm going into the shrimping business for myself after I get out the army.
Okay.
Your sole purpose in this army?
To do whatever you tell me, drill sergeant?
God damn it, Gump! You're a goddamn genius. That's the most outstanding answer I've ever heard.
Just drag your nets along the buck. On a good day, you can catch over 100 pounds of shrimp. Everything goes all right.
Bubba Gump Shrimp.
There's pineapple shrimp, lemon shrimp, coconut shrimp, pepper shrimp, shrimp soup, shrimp stew, shrimp salad.
He found the perfect friend to listen to him.
Let's give a big round of applause to the luscious Bobby Dillon.
From Hollywood, California, huh?
Her dream had come true.
She sleeps in the sand.
She was a folk singer.
Yes, in
Aww.
Hey, honey, I got something here for you. God damn it!
Hey, stupid jerk! I'm singing a song here.
Go punch that man.
You can't keep doing this all the time.
I can't help it. I love you.
Oh.
We pray for God to turn me into a bird so I could fly far, far away. You think I could fly off this bridge?
Damn, Jetty's life is so goddamn depressing.
They sending me to Vietnam. It's this whole other country.
Just if you're ever in trouble, don't try to be brave. You just run, okay? Just run away.
Okay. And just like that, she was gone.
This poor guy. So simple-minded.
Where are you boys from in the world?
Alabama, sir.
You twins?
No, we are not relations, sir.
Try and keep your feet dry. When we're out humping, I want you boys to remember to change your socks whenever we stop. Mekong will eat a grunt's feet right off his legs. Sergeant Sims! God damn it, where is that sling rope I told you?
I kind of bit scared of Sinise, man. He's a cool actor.
Try not to do anything stupid, like getting yourself killed.
I sure hope I don't let him down.
It seems like he's on some sort of a spectrum, right? Doesn't quite strike me as directly autism. Could just be simple-minded, kind-hearted.
And we were always looking for this guy named Charlie. One day, it started raining, and it didn't quit for 4 months.
Wow.
I even wrote Jenny and told her all about it. Told her how I thought about her always, and how I was looking forward to getting a letter from her just as soon as she had the time.
Damn, what a different path.
Just like that, somebody turned off the rain and the sun come out.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh my God.
I ran so far and so fast, pretty soon I was all by myself, which was a bad thing. Bubba was my best good friend. I had to make sure he was okay.
Oh God, no.
Just leave me here, get out! Big strong arm, how God, I said leave me here, God damn it!
Then it felt like something just jumped up and bit me.
Stop there, bit me! I got an airstrike inbound right now. They're gonna nade the whole area. Gump, you stay here, God damn it! That's an order! I gotta find Bubba!
I will never be as good of a person as this guy. God damn.
okay, Forrest. I'm okay.
Oh no. That's his best friend. Damn, really good effects. I wonder how they put that together.
Why'd this happen?
You got shot.
I want to go home.
Bubba was my best good friend.
Oh.
It was a bullet, wasn't it? That jumped up and bit you.
They said it was a $1 million wound, but the Army must keep that money because I still ain't seen a nickel of that $1 million.
It's time for your bath, Lieutenant.
Oh shit.
Gump. I'm Forrest Gump.
Huddle.
Oh man. I thought this was a feel-good movie. What did I walk into?
Now, the secret to this game is, no matter what happens, never take your eye off the ball.
So I started playing it all the time. I played ping pong, even when I didn't have anyone to play ping pong with.
Ping pong is so fun. I gotta get a ping pong table.
The hospital's people said it made me look like a duck in water, whatever that means.
Cool.
You cheated me. I had a destiny. I was supposed to die in the field with honor. That was my destiny, and you cheated me out of it.
God damn it.
Do you understand what I'm saying, Gump?
So heart-wrenching.
President Johnson awarded 4 medals of honor to men from each of the armed services.
America owes you a debt of gratitude, son. I understand you were wounded. Where were you hit?
In the buttocks, sir.
Oh, that must be a sight. I'd kind of like to see that.
Streets was awful crowded with people looking at all the statues and monuments, and some of them people were loud and pushy.
Okay, follow me! Come on, let's move it out!
Everywhere I went, I had to stand in line.
Oh my god, is Forrest Gump gonna do LSD? Yeah, get some psychedelics first.
There was this man giving a little talk, and for some reason he was wearing an American flag for a shirt.
I'm gonna bring up some...
His name was Charlie Manson.
Well, there's only one thing I could say about the war in Vietnam.
Jesus Christ, what are they doing this?
Can't hear you!
Just keep talking.
That's it.
That's all I have to say about that.
That's the right on, man. You said it all.
Jenny!
Nobody knows what's happening. Well, the reunited.
She showed me around and even introduced me to some of her new friends.
Shut that blonde man and get your white ass away from that window. Don't you know we in a war here?
Against all these racist and imperial dog acts.
Stop it!
Sorry I had a fight in the middle of your Black Panther party. We walked around all night, Jenny and me, just talking. She told me about all the traveling she'd done and how she discovered ways to expand her mind.
We have very different lives, you know.
I want you to have this.
Aww. Oh, I can't tell if she views him as a big brother or a, you know, more fluctuates.
So I was in the special services, traveling around the country, cheering up all them wounded veterans and showing them how to play ping pong. The Army decided that I should be on the All-America ping pong team. When I got home, I was a national celebrity, famouser even than Captain Kangaroo.
Here he is, Forrest Gump, right here.
I'd watch a whole movie about him playing ping pong, man.
People hardly got nothing at all.
No possessions?
They never go to church.
No religion, too?
Ah, hard to imagine.
Well, it's easy if you try, Dick.
Some years later, that Lieutenant Dan said he was living in a hotel, and because he didn't have no legs, he spent most of his time exercising his arms. I stayed with Lieutenant Dan and celebrated the holidays.
Gary Sinise is so good in this movie.
Have you found Jesus yet, Gump?
I didn't know I was supposed to be looking for him.
Before you go, why don't you get your ass down to the corner and get us another bottle of Wright?
Yes, sir.
Your neighbor like his alcoholism. Gary Sinise's resentment and inner conflict is so good.
But in the middle of all that fun, I began to think about Jenny.
Coming Sharon Stone from Casino. Poor woman just abused her whole life, man.
Daddy's your friend stupid or something.
Don't call him stupid!
Hey, don't you push her!
You shut up! Don't you ever call him stupid!
No, baby, why
Just
you being
get the hell out of here!
You're so pathetic.
Get out of here!
Oh.
Oh, no.
There's some great effects. Come on, Forrest, start up the shrimp business. Give him a purpose.
A few months later, they invited me and the ping pong team to visit the White House. So I went. Again.
Well, where are you staying? It's called the Hotel Ebot. Oh, no. I know of a much nicer hotel. It's brand new, very modern. I'll have my people take care of it for you.
Send a maintenance man over to that office across the way. The lights are off and they must be looking for a fuse box or something because them flashlights, they're keeping me awake. Thank you. Good night.
Oh my God.
Therefore, I shall resign the presidency effective at noon tomorrow. Vice President Ford will be sworn in as president at that hour in this office.
Your career will be ruined or you'll die around Forrest Gump.
I have your discharge papers. Service is up, son.
Discharge? You haven't aged a day since he went off to join the Army.
I took Mom out to a real fancy dinner and I bought a bus ticket and 3 Dr. Peppers.
Tell me something. Are you stupid or something?
It is stupid does. I love it.
Putting all that on gas, ropes, and new nets, a brand new shrimping boat.
You did it, Forrest. Go hire Lieutenant Dan.
Now, I hadn't heard from Jenny in a long while, but I thought about her a lot. And I hope that whatever she was doing made her happy.
Damn, she's gonna OD, isn't she? Oh, fuck. No way. Wow. I thought she was really gonna do it. And Ted and Dan showed up. Well, you gotta catch your boat, man.
Lieutenant Dan, what are you doing here?
Well, thought I'd try out my sea legs.
Well, you ain't got no legs, Lieutenant Dan.
Well, Captain Forrest Gump, I had to see this for myself. I told you if you were ever a shrimp boat captain that I'd be your first mate. Well, here I am.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but don't you be thinking that I'm gonna be calling you sir.
No, sir. It's my boat. Still no shrimp, Lieutenant Dan.
Okay, so I was wrong.
Well, how are we gonna find them?
Well, maybe you should just pray for shrimp.
He's like Drax.
Hurricane Carmen came through here yesterday, destroying nearly everything in its path.
Wow.
Only one shrimping boat actually survived the storm.
Wow.
After that, shrimping was easy. Since people still needed them shrimps for shrimp cocktails and barbecues and all, we were the only boat left standing. Bubba Gump Shrimp's what they got.
Bubba Gump?
Forrest, I never thanked you for saving my life.
Forrest had a phone call. His mama sick.
We sure got you straightened out, didn't we, boy?
I forgot that was the same doctor.
I didn't know it, but I was destined to be your mama. I did the best I could.
You did good.
You did great.
So I never went back to work for Lieutenant Dan. He got me invested in some kind of fruit company. And so then I got a call from him saying we don't have to worry about money no more. And I said, that's good.
Fruit company.
I gave Bubba's mama Bubba share. She didn't have to work in nobody's kitchen no more.
Awesome.
And then she was there.
All right, I'm ready to marry you now.
Jenny came back and stayed with me. I did all the talking. Jenny most of the times was real quiet.
Nightmare home.
How can you do this?
God. I had no idea that her story would be so goddamn heartbreaking. Him is this one constant good thing in her life.
And she even showed me how to dance.
And then he became a worldwide famous dancer.
And well, we was like family, Jenny and me.
I hope she does not leave. I swear to God, man.
Will you marry me? I'd make a good husband, Jenny.
You don't want to marry me.
Why don't you love me, Jenny?
Oh, man. She take it off.
So I ran to the end of the road. And when I got there, I thought maybe I'd run to the end of town.
President Carter, suffering from heat exhaustion, fell into the arms
And when I got there, I thought maybe I'd just run across Greenbow County.
This is the best Nike commercial.
For no particular reason, I just kept on going. I ran clear to the ocean.
Santa Monica?
I figured since I'd gone this far, I might as well just turn back. Keep right on going.
You're gonna need some glucosamine for those knees, man.
So, you just ran.
Yeah.
There's a nice sense of adventure to this. Makes you want to explore a little bit.
A man named Forrest Gump, a gardener from Greenbow, Alabama, stopping only to sleep, has been running across America.
They just couldn't believe that somebody would do all that running for no particular reason.
Why are you doing this?
I just felt like running.
I mean, it was like an alarm went off in my head, you know? I said, here's a guy that's got his act together. Here's somebody who's got it all figured out. Here's somebody who has the answer. I'll follow you anywhere, Mr. Gump.
I had run for 3 years, 2 months, 14 days, and 16 hours. I'm pretty tired. Think I'll go home now.
Oh, man. You could have made it something.
So I went home to Alabama.
Oh, this poor people putting their faith in him.
One day, out of blue, clear sky, I got a letter from Jenny wondering if I could come down to Savannah and see her, and that's what I'm doing here.
What's going on?
Henry Street is just 5 or 6 blocks down that way.
Everything works out for you.
Whoa, it's weird seeing him off the bench.
I want to apologize for anything that I ever did to you, because I was messed up. This is my very good friend, Mr. Gump. Here, can you say hi to him?
Hello, Mr. Gump.
Is that Haley Joel Osment?
His name's Forrest.
Like me.
I named him after his daddy.
He got a daddy named Forrest, too?
You're his daddy, Forrest.
Wow.
There's nothing you need to do, okay? You didn't do anything wrong.
It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Is he smart?
He's very smart.
Oh.
He's one of the smartest in his class.
So sad.
I have some kind of virus, and the doctors don't know what it is, and there isn't anything they can do about it.
Would you marry me, Forrest?
Okay.
Oh, what? No way.
You got new legs.
Titanium alloy. It's what they use on the space shuttle.
Magic legs.
Oh, no.
Hey, you scared in Vietnam?
Sometimes it would stop raining long enough for the stars to come out. Those over a million sparkles on the water.
Beauty in the struggle.
You died on a Saturday morning. Mama always said dying was a part of life.
Yeah.
And every night we read a book. You're so smart, Jenny. You'd be so proud of him. I am.
Oh, God damn.
Each have a destiny, or if we're all just floating around accidental like on a breeze, maybe both is happening at the same time.
Yeah.
I miss you, Jenny. If there's anything you need.
That was really heartbreaking.
I know this.
I'm going to serve that for show and tell because Bram used to read it to you.
My favorite book.
Feather fell out. Good movie, man. I know, buddy. Been in here a while. Let's just chat about it. All right, here we are. Forrest Gump. Finally talking about Forrest Gump. It's weird. I kind of had this identity as the guy who had never seen Forrest Gump in circles. I always loved the expression, like, you never seen Forrest Gump? Now here we are. It's funny watching this because I would constantly hear the rhetoric would change over time about this movie. in random circles I would run into. I'm sure if I looked up an article online, it would tell me all the reasons why Forrest Gump is a problematic movie now, because I would hear that. And not knowing what the movie was, I had no real basis other than that word, problematic. I didn't know why today there would be things about it that are considered problematic. There are things I can venture to guess why some might consider it problematic. But that's not my job to sit here and try to dissect it. I'm not here to do some video essay about why Forrest Gump is problematic. You know, like there are some things that I might say in passing as I'm talking about it. But all I have to do is just tell you what my feelings on the movie are. And I think it wears its sentimental heart on its shoulders very well. Like, it's such a fantasy movie that whatever might be considered problematic, because it's a story about, I don't know if he's supposed to be, it seems, the movie strikes me as like he's on the spectrum of some sort. So it doesn't ever outright declare he is. It doesn't ever say he has like Asperger's or autism or something. Like, I don't know if the movie was actually doing that. After a while, I'm like, he's probably just a simple-minded guy, you know, with a great big heart. And to me, the movie was more about that, because he's kind of coasting through life through most of this with just naturally accumulating some of the greatest world experiences with such simplicity that I like that. I really appreciate that quality of it so much, because he's surrounded by terrible things. Like, he goes to the freaking Vietnam War, for crying out loud. The woman he loves for eternity is down such a tumultuous path, and while he might be blind to so many things, he's surrounded by racism, for crying out loud. And so if I were to guess really quick, if I were to guess why people might consider this problematic today, I'd have to say it's because of the political angles that people might draw from it. Because this movie, while covering political American history events, it doesn't really seem to be about politics to me. It's sort of the backdrop of the experiences, but it's more of a commentary on humanity. Yeah, I'd probably just go that way. Like, you know, he's picks up the book at the college for the black student who is getting accepted into the school. Even when the Black Panther person's talking to him, it's kind of played like a joke, and he's not really, doesn't really seem to be taking it in. So a lot of like the messages about racism that you could probably do to make this more of a powerful impact, to really have something to say, the movie doesn't really seem too interested in that. It seems more interested in just exploring the simplicity of life, that you can go about it in a way that doesn't have to be as complex and still lead something great, and to be appreciative of what's in front of you and in the present moment as well. Like, there's a lot of qualities to this Forrest Gump character who, it's interesting, like, I wonder if this role had come out today, if this would have gotten Tom Hanks the Oscar, because it's in a lot of ways, it's not, I wouldn't call it one note. That would be very unfair to call the character one note. He's just so simple, and then his emotions seem to kind of hover between like happy, sad, and misunderstanding, like a misreading of a situation. You know, he takes everything so literally, and I like that about him. I really like that, because while it's at times it might read as like a really simple performance, it works so well for the movie, because he's always just about doing what he feels is the good thing, doing the right thing, or doing his duty, you know, just going through life and following his feelings and following what he just believes in the moment he has to do, despite how other people might try to read it as something more at times, you know. It might just be just because. And as simplistic as that is, there's something about that I find really fascinating to watch. And also, I don't know, I guess I don't really get offended by any of the things that might be lacking in something that could be a true heavy, like, social political commentary. It's in such a fantasy world. Like, this movie, I didn't know that going in. Like, it's such a fantastical world, but imbued in real life, you know, and like using historical events, which I thought was a really nice nuanced touch to have. This Jenny character, that threw me for a loop. You know, at the beginning, they imply the sexual abuse from her father, and how having not overcome that, it has created a ripple effect of lack of vulnerability, attachment issues, escapism. Like, she just goes through this cycle of abuse for the rest of her life and never truly coming to terms with it. It doesn't seem until she like has a kid. So I don't know if there's something I'm getting too caught up in it. It's just that was the other voice that was in my head the whole time of, why do people think this movie's problematic now? Because I thought the movie was actually really sweet. And it was so much about love, you know, like I thought Robin Wright's performance was really good. And I really liked, the performance by Gary Sinise. I thought was actually my personal favorite in here. I loved his whole character arc. You meet him at the moment where it's like prime Lieutenant Dan, you know, this is what he does. He's part of the jungle. He knows war, and he is ready to die, honor the legacy of his ancestry, of everyone who died in a great American war before him. And he felt like he was destined for that. And even though Forrest saves his life, he resents him for that action because he doesn't know how to appreciate his own life. But by being closer to Forrest and being friends with him and watching his life change, he finds plenty to be grateful for, and then finds love. I think it's shit like that what the movie's really about. Is, yes, there's a lot about persistence, and even though he's often met with very little struggle, sometimes we get in our own ways. I think that's an interesting commentary about humanity, is sometimes we complicate things ourselves so much. This is a fantasy world, okay? It's not the real world. But in life, I'm saying that sometimes we do get in our own heads way too much. Oftentimes our biggest obstacle is just within. It's just ourselves, and we have to overcome that. And as someone who does not register obstacles the way how other people do, he's able to kind of lead more of the life that other people often desire, because he's surrounded by people who are struggling constantly. You know, like the mom's in debt and has to sleep with the principal to get him into school. Gary Sinise, Jenny, obviously very, very tough lives. Everywhere he goes, it seems like everyone's kind of having like a tougher life than he is. And I think that's part of the inspiration of this character is, you know, I'm trying to go back to what it must have been like to watch him for the first time of, I wish more of us could be that way. Everyone's like always searching for such a purpose, you know, where he looks for adventure without really thinking like that. He's just kind of going with the feeling. Like when he decides to go run across the world for 3+ years, and how he creates this following of everyone who's trying to add more meaning to what he's doing, when he's like, no, I just wanted to. When a lot of the times we try to make things more profound than what they really are. And maybe there is more to dissect of why Forrest Gump, the character, made that choice that he might not even be aware of. What I thought was really cool about the way that was handled was like everyone in the journalists were just like, what are you doing this for? They're all listing a bunch of different political agendas that Forrest could be doing this run for, that it's symbolic for something deeper. And it never was for him. It was like an instinct. I can imagine there's an emotional root to it. Like he's going through pain, and this is his way of working it off in some ways. This is, you know, Jenny escapes. Maybe this was his way of escaping, but it's not to try to. He's surrounded by messages all the time and political agendas all the time throughout his life, as most of us are. And yet it was always about finding the simple way through it all. You know, something oftentimes it's like very black and white thinking. Friends are in danger in Vietnam. I gotta go save them despite what everyone else is saying I should do. Run, don't run. Very, very simple way of thinking. And I keep using the word simple because that's, I guess I was expecting to walk into a movie that was going to be like so heavy on messages and so deep. And in a lot of ways, it's deep in a way that is not as complicated or as complex as I expected it to be. And I appreciate that about the journey, because it's like it touches on subjects and terror, like especially with the Jenny character, like it touches on so much. And then there's like the war violence that is so much more mature than I expected it to be, because he is like a child in a grown man's body, going through life and surrounded by adult situations, and everything seems kind of foreign to him. I guess I'd consider it problematic if the movie outright declares like he's an autistic guy, because I think the way movies often portray autistic characters is not always good. Like normally when the characters normally autistic characters are portrayed in movies, it's like they're math geniuses or some shit, or like they solve like the alien Rubik's Cube of life or some shit. And yeah, there was like, you're secretly a genius. Yes, it's a power, use it. And I'm curious, because I saw that it was based on a book, and I don't know if the book would declare that he directly is. But they don't really lean into that too much. Like it was still able to just see him as a guy who just who has just I keep using the word simple. Like I'm not beating that word to death here. He just has a really easy way of looking at life and doesn't get in his own way too often. He just goes about it. He is like a soldier running through life. And so I think like him going to war is very apt for the character, because as a soldier through life, he's just following what life is telling him to go follow. And I think that is so cool, because most of us don't do that. And I think a lot of us find success in many areas of our life when we're least thinking about the end result of things. You're just focused on the moment, doing what you have to do. And then naturally you might accumulate some things that eventually lead to success, or like you just don't know most of the time. And I really like it. I don't know. I thought it was a really sweet film. I thought it was something that was very moving, very emotional, and had a great heart. And I thought while that's from the freaking early 90s, so while some of the visual effects are a little bit wonky, I think for the most part they hold up pretty well. Like they would be so much better today. They would do like full-on deep fakes, so you just get some CGI actor in there, really match the words to the mouth. But as it stands, I still think the visual effects are great. I think the visual effects on like Gary Sinise, who obviously has his legs in real life, like the way they handled it when they were amputated and the way he moved around, that looked really good too. I was very much, I found that very marvelous. And this whole movie seemed to have this message of just kind of, I don't know, I guess it would be about appreciation. Like I like the montage at the end when he's talking to Jenny about the experiences he's had with, doing that long marathon for those years, but the landscapes he saw, the sights to behold, or when he was struggling with the Bubba Gump, when he's struggling with capturing the shrimp and looking at the sky, even in Vietnam. How heavy the weather was and how much endurance it required, yet it was like the reflecting upon it was always about the beauty that was there. And it's something I really struggle with personally. It's really easy to say, look at the silver linings and be grateful for things. It's really, really hard. It's really easy to get caught up in circumstance. And it's something I really, really have a hard time with. And it was nice to just sit back with a movie that's kind of like, no, appreciate it. But he's also still a badass. Still beats the shit. Will Smith's everyone who fucking threatens his woman. It's great. So yeah, I liked it. I'm not sure what to make of the Jenny and Forrest Gump relationship, honestly. If there's one part of me that at times might rub me the wrong way, and I'm not even sure how to articulate it right now, is just like Forrest is just so forgiving and tolerates so much of the way he's treated by her, with so much of, like, she just keeps abandoning him, and then has a kid that's his kid for so many years and doesn't ever tell him about it. And it's just like, it sometimes it can read as it's easy for her to take advantage of the hit, and knowing that he is going to be a constant who is always there for her, despite despite the fact that she doesn't seem to fully give herself over the way how Forrest does. So she can go off and have these crazy life experiences and sleep with all these people and whatever. Like, that's not the part I'm like critical of. It's more of there are parts of it that do feel like, yeah, you kind of take advantage of the guy a little bit, though. You know, you think about it, he does choose to just stick around and wait for it. So, you know, it's his decision ultimately. But that's kind of me just sort of reaching in and thinking of something that wasn't actually really bothering me in the moment. But yeah, as it stands, I'm glad I finally saw it. I thought it was a really good movie. I didn't quite love it to the heights that people maybe have built it up to be. But I can imagine that the more I think about it, the more I'll really appreciate this film. So yeah, either way, thank you guys for being here. I'm glad I kind of watched this, have some laughs and tears with y'all. Very, very moving film, and we'll talk with you guys soon. Now, nothing but Marvel content for the next 6 days.